You like this? You ain't really feeling it, is you? You're not really feeling it, are you? Brooke, you like it? How you feel about it? Can you smell it on me? Can you smell it on me? How you feel? How you feel? Not too sure? All right, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. Can you smell it? You smell it on my arm? You don't smell it? It's all right. All right, I'll let you go. All right, well, let me, I gotta record. You can't record with me. I gotta record the video. It's Fat Boy Friday. Brooke. All right, down girl, good girl. Good girl. I'll be back. I'll be back. Yeah, so, I mean, if the dog don't like it, but I'm not gonna say she didn't like it. Nonetheless, a lot of you are still looking for some of the best summer fragrances for men. This one has been getting a lot of hype lately. And so I figured, hey, let's bring in Fat Boy Friday with a bang and let's talk about it. Vision from the house of Maison Asrar. Beautiful, beautiful bottle. And I know what most of you are already thinking. How close is this to Pacific Chill? We're gonna talk about it. It's Fat Boy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. They gonna trip when they hear this. This guy. Nah, it ain't Jada. It's Fat Boy, but you can call me Walt. Walt J. Hey, let's cut up for a little bit. Here we go. That boy crazy. Call me Mr. Elixir. My nose is something sinister. I'm stone cold like a tombstone. I'm a finisher. Finisher. A fragrance that a finisher. Preaching about these oils like they holy. I'm a minister. Trying to set the record straight. Curve is the real king. Still got love for grease. So Barge made them girls scream. Can't forget that 1 million got me feeling real lucky. Call me Fat Boy, but don't test me. It can get ugly. I'm trying to find a new cologne. I don't really know where to go. That boy out here singing, boy. Crazy work. Hey, get him again, Fat Boy. I'm a real fragrance reviewer from niche to designers. You can never clone Fat Boy. I know that's right. I'm rocking with the czar and my homegirls, the oil lady. Paris, Milan, no little tougher than my other ladies. Renaissance man, though I never been to Harlem. Love a New York night like a crook, love a bond man. Belling out the game, but don't call me a savior. Casting out these phonies, call me a demon slayer. In the words of my brother Dedra Hicks, positive vibes only. Yo, what's going on, party people, Fat Boy family? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. That's right, it is Fat Boy Friday. We have made it to the weekend. So if this is your first time coming by, I hope you appreciate it. I appreciate you coming by. Those of you that's been rocking with your boy, y'all know what to do. Feel free, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and while you're at it, go ahead and click the bell to be notified every single time I post new content to the channel. But let's go ahead and get into today's conversation. A fragrance that has been getting a lot of gas. Rightfully so, probably not rightfully so. You know, people have a love-hate relationship with it. Full transparency, this was sent to me from JOMASHOP, but that doesn't mean anything as far as me giving you my honest opinion on it. You guys know the reputation that we have built here, and I stake my reputation on the things that we say, and we have built an integral channel. Everybody may not agree, but argue with your own mama, I don't care. But again, we're talking from the house of Maison Asrar. This is a brand under Gulf Orchid, and we have Vision. Nice citrus, aromatic, fresh, spicy, green fragrance. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna get to the fragrance. I'm gonna get to the fragrance because it's all right. It's all right. I do not believe it's worth the hype that TikTok has been giving it, that I've seen YouTube giving it, for a couple of different reasons. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you my rating right out the gate, 6.57 out of 10. It's not, and I don't think it's the fragrance's fault. I think there are some things contributing to this, but I'm going to give you the context later instead of before, because I know you guys don't really care, you know what I'm saying, about that. You just want to know, does the fragrance smell good? So let me get into the presentation and first, because the bottle is beautiful. This is the box that it comes in. You guys know on Fridays, you know, we give full reviews. So this is the box that it comes in. It's weird because at first you're like, how do you open this? You actually pull this from the front or from this angle. You see what I'm saying? I don't even know how to open it. There we go. All right, so it comes from this way and then the bottle sits in there. It was loose when I got it. This is not made for shipping. I'm gonna tell you that right there. So the bottle is not gonna be sitting in there when you get it. Cool little display though, but nothing too special about it. So my bad, we're gonna throw that to the side. No disrespect, Gulf Orchid, Maison Asrar. If I don't know if I'm saying that wrong or not, but the bottle, man, this is beautiful. Now, I thought it was going to be a lot heavier. I thought this was going to be a lot heavier. I thought this was going to be like all glass or something like that. I think this is more of like some type of hard aluminum, hard plastic. You can tell by the shine. I thought this was going to be super heavy. This is not a heavy cap at all. Like you can kind of hear, you know what I'm saying? Again, kind of has that, I don't want to say made in China sound, but yeah, I like the bottle itself is beautiful. So I expected this to be real heavy. When I've seen this floating around online, I was like, yo, that would be a dope, you know what I'm saying, bottle just to have on the counter. And I will be honest, presentation, 10 out of 10, you know what I'm saying? So take that for what you want it, but it's dope. It just looks dope. Let's go over the spray. Look, some people say sprayer, the atomizer. Wide distribution, I definitely know that. Now we seen what happened with the last video, the fan caught it. So wide distribution there. And I've already worn this several times. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the notes on the screen so we can talk about it. Again, citrus, aromatic, fragrance. All right. In the top, you get lime, blackcurrant, orange, and lemon. In the opening with this, all lime and lemon. Lemon, lime. Lime, lemon, lemon, lime. Not a sweet lemon lime. Borderline tart. Not like the rind of a lime. You guys know I love bohemian lime. If I'm gonna push you towards a lime fragrance, it's gonna be that. This isn't inspired by. It's not a clone. I can't even necessarily say this is a remix. This is, we like Pacific Chill. We want to come out with something that's relative to Pacific Chill, but this is not Pacific Chill. This might be Atlantic Chill. Yeah, but this is not Pacific Chill. This is Atlantic Chill, but this is not Pacific Chill. This is like with all due respect, I'm not trying to be funny. This is like the difference between like the Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf of America. Two, I don't want to say totally different, but two distinct. There's something distinct about Pacific Chill that is missing here. All right. And you're going to find out in a second as the fragrance starts to develop, starts to change. And you're going to notice there's a difference between when you first get it and after you let it sit for a little while, for a couple of weeks. You get this blast of just citrus, borderline synthetic. It's not like super synthetic, but it's borderline synthetic where it's like, I kind of got this slight tinge in my eye. Like, is this going to give me a headache? You know what I'm saying? But a beautiful lemon, lime, zesty, powerful opening. I don't get a lot of black currant. You know what I'm saying with this one? I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I don't get as much orange as I have with other fragrances, but this booms off the skin. Another thing, totally different on paper than it is on skin. So when I've seen people that have sprayed this on paper, I'm like, it is not the same on paper as it is on skin. Two totally different things, in my opinion. I know fragrance is subjective, so that's just how I feel about it. But again, mostly you get that lime, you get that lemon, a little bit of orange hanging in the background. I really don't get a lot of black currant. The lemon and the lime are overpowering it. As the fragrance continues to develop and we get to the middle, you have basil, white tea, and coriander. I don't get a lot of that. One of the things that makes Pacific Chill is this apricot note. Now, there's a slight peak. I feel like what they were trying to do, because you get the slightest tinge of peach, the slightest hint of peach, where when you put these combination of fruits and citruses together and you add something like basil, you kind of get the same feel. So it's like there's no apricot, but it's like they're trying to replicate that. But to me, that's why I said that is very distinct about Pacific Chill, where it's like, this is Atlantic Chill. This is not the same thing. This is on the other coast. Inspired by both huge bodies of water. You have some people that love they love the Pacific. They love Hawaii. They love California. They love Santa Monica. It's beautiful. Then you have people that love Florida. They love Myrtle Beach. They love Virginia Beach. They love the Outer Banks. You know what I'm saying? They love the Hamptons. They love that Atlantic, you know what I'm saying, water. But I don't get a lot of white tea. I don't get a lot of coriander. Coriander is supposed to bring in some of that spice. So the herbal essences, no pun intended, the herbal essence, the aromatic nature that's supposed to come in is not as strong as something you're going to get with Pacific Chill. All right. And then as we get to the base, musk, ambergris, and moss. It's not as mossy. You know what I'm saying? Musk is definitely there. I'm a huge fan of musk, but it's not like the musk that's in Bohemian Lime. When I see musk, ambergris, and moss, I'm expecting it to get a little bit more masculine, a little bit more earthy. You know what I'm saying? And there to be, but maybe because there's no like with the ambergris is really just kind of, it's not giving it any kind of sweetness like amber or ambrette may do. Is just really kind of there to help kind of push. Almost think like what I can't say what ambroxan does. Just forget that part. Nonetheless, it's not like a sweet musk. Like it's there. Once you get to the dry down, the fragrance does change and you get it, but it's not like I was expecting in Bohemian Lime. And I'm like, why are you talking about Bohemian Lime instead of Pacific Chill? Because to me, if you take the apricot away from Pacific Chill, you get Bohemian Lime. If you elevate the musk, add a little bit more amber, and you take away the apricot, Pacific Chill becomes Bohemian Lime, in my opinion. That may sound crazy. If you're familiar with the Goldfield and Banks Bohemian Lime, then maybe you know what I'm talking about. But you guys know how much I love that fragrance, except that's a true lime in that fragrance. The lime in there is true. You get the rind of the lime and then it becomes sweet, juicy, and I love it. This one in particular really kind of stays focused on the citrus. And then they bring the musk back in, but I don't want to say synthetic musk. Because technically right now, all musk is synthetic. So I don't know why people are arguing about synthetic musk because it's illegal. Like you can't use real musk. You know what I'm saying anymore? Nonetheless, here's the context. Here's the context. This fragrance is for those people who want something that is in the familiarity within the family. You have that Pacific Chill DNA. But you know, the issue with LV fragrances, specifically Pacific Chill Afternoon Swim, which I prefer, the longevity is the performance. Now, this is not beast when it comes to projection. Like in that first hour, I'm gonna be honest with you, on my skin, and both times I wore this, super well moisturized, high heat. Most of the projection was in like the first hour and a half. After about 30-35 minutes, I could start to see, okay, this is going to change. And it's going to become a skin scent, not so much to the point where it's going to disappear. It's just that all of that initial boom from the citrus is going to start to, digress a little bit. That's to be expected. That's the one thing that bothers me when you guys listen to me and other people as fragrance reviewers. You guys forget about the notes that's in these fragrances. It's not meant for it to last all day. If it was, it would be Pond Sol. You know what I'm saying? It would be cleaner. This is not cleaner. They don't have all these other chemicals, even though they probably are. But, it's like putting Fabuloso, you know what I'm saying, in a toilet, or you clean the bathroom with Fabuloso. You're going to smell that for like the next 2 or 3 days. But it's not like that with at least I hope it's not like that with fragrances. So when you have certain citruses and certain things like that, they're not going to last that long anyway, which is why I don't last that long in Pacific Chill. So I'm not even going to kill LV as it relates to the longevity and the performance of a lot of their citrus heavy fragrances, because they're not really going to last like that. That's why people put other things in there in the mid and the dry down, in the base to kind of help that. All right. So this one, most of the projection for me was in that first hour and a half. After 30, 35 minutes, I can kind of tell, okay, this is going to die down. Sillage, not that great. If you're giving somebody a hug within that first 2 hour period, somebody close quarters, like the first 15 minutes, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to make an impression with this, first 15 minutes, or you're going to have to spray it like at least 20 times. And for some of you, they're like 20 times. I spray at least 30, 40 times. You know what I'm saying? How long I've been talking? Okay. I'm not too bad. I was like, I've been talking about this fragrance for a minute, but this is important because again, there's a lot of gas, there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of love, whatever. Some people are getting accused of shilling. I ain't got nothing to do with that. We just gonna talk about the house of Fat Boy. You know what I'm saying? As for me and my house, this is what we got going on. Nonetheless, performance is decent. Longevity is there. The longevity is there. You're getting at least 8 hours on skin where you're gonna smell it. On clothes, it's going to be longer, of course, but it's going to be a skin scent, but it's going to be there for at least 7 to 8 hours. Performance, better than Pacific Chill. Yeah, like it's going to be better. So that's the reason you would buy this. Here's the issue with this fragrance. People are buying this fragrance, expecting it or having a comparison to LV Pacific Chill. A lot of people when Middle Eastern fragrances come out now, when clone fragrances, because there are a lot of fragrances that are just based in the US. When clone fragrances come out, there are little known fragrance companies that come out with a fragrance and people assume it's a clone. They're like, well, what is it cloning? And we forget that some things are inspired takes. If you have never smelled Pacific Chill before, if you don't own it or you've never smelled it, and it's not something you desired, and you came across this is a nice fragrance. That's why I say it's not bad. It's not the fragrance's fault that it gets a 7 out of 10. 6.5, 7 out of 10. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. It gets a 7 out of 10. If you have no reference point for Pacific Chill, this is a dope fragrance. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for a cheap is relative because I think right now is like sub $60, which is kind of high. You know what I'm saying? I think there are some better buys that you can probably get less than 40, less than $50. And we'll probably talk about that next week. I'm looking at a couple here on my table. I'd rather you get just 2 that are right in front of me. I'm gonna say 3. I'd rather, and this is, I'm not dumping on them. I'd rather you get this. All right. I'd rather you get this, all right? Or I'd rather you get this than drop sub $60 on this, okay? I'd rather you do that, or I'd rather you just stick to the Imagination clones, because all of those are bangers. I don't care what route you go. This is not bad. I think, again, people are looking for a 1-to-1 to LV, and this is not a 1-to-1 to LV. Does it smell good? Yeah. Does it work for the summer? Yeah. Is it cheap? Not as cheap as it could be, but it's Gulf Orchid. So this is going to get much cheaper because people aren't going to buy, there are going to be a lot of returns. People are not going to buy this. So I guarantee you by next month, this will probably be sub $40, $40, $45. Because this is a sub brand. Now, I would assume that this is maybe supposed to be the higher quality brand of Gulf Orchid, because this says 75% volume. So I'm assuming this is like 25% oil. It's supposed to have a 25% oil concentration versus the normal 20%. It is an EDP. So I would assume this is the higher brand, kind of like you have Lattafa and then Lattafa Pride. Okay. I would assume this is the Infiniti to Nissan. This is the Lexus to Toyota, but I don't know. This is the Lincoln to Ford. We have to see, you know, because I have some other fragrances from them as well. And I was like, I can do them all in one video, but now I'm gonna do them justice and do them individual. So I know y'all kind of cracking on me right now because you be like, well, you've been talking way too long about this fragrance. I love context. I wanted to make sure I'm giving y'all that. So again, if you're looking for LV one-to-one, I wouldn't buy this. If you're just looking for something that works, that smells good, and you got roughly $60 to spend, then check this out. If you got $60 to blow, I wouldn't recommend it, but check this out. And JOMASHOP sent this to me. Doesn't matter, okay? I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. So if you order it, cool. If you don't, cool. I think there are better options at this price point in this citrus summer spring style scent. All right. Nonetheless, y'all know what to do. Holla at your boy. Hit me in them comments. Let me know if you have it, if you're planning to get it, what you think about it. If you think I'm tripping, like I said, Pacific Chill is apricot. There's no apricot here. As you get to the dry down, a little bit more of that basil and some of those things come out, but it's not Pacific Chill. I think that you can distinctly tell, oh, I'm Pacific Chill's like second or third cousin. Like I look up to Pacific Chill, but they made it to the NFL. You know, the movie Cookout, Family Cookout, whatever the movie was, with Queen Latifah, the Cookout, where Todd made it to the NBA, and then his aunt wanted his cousin to get a contract as well. And he was like, I'm going to med school to be a doctor. Yeah, same family, but we going two totally different directions. Pacific Chill, Atlantic Chill. Nonetheless, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and while you're ready, go ahead and click the bell so you can be notified every single time I post new content to the channel. But yeah, until next time, you guys be easy, have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.